the main character, Nathan Warren, hosts, when the book begins, hosts a little open mic and folk music jam session at a tiny little neighborhood bar in North Cambridge called Dooley's, where he meets Kit Palmer. So I'll do a couple of excerpts. I wanted this to be not just a book about the music business or about being a professional musician, but about music itself, particularly this kind of music and what it is about music that moves us so much and the wonder and mystery of it. We get a little bit of that here. This happens kind of early in the book. Kit Palmer is a young songwriter, but she's also grew up playing Scottish fiddle. So she's in the back room at Dooley's at this jam session playing fiddle. And Nathan goes back to check on her, starts listening to a song, and begins thinking about something. I would be willing to bet that at one time or another in the Rose Garden, you have all wondered about this yourselves. Perhaps a little troubled and go, what is it about me? You'll see what I mean. Put on my author glasses here. I just wear these for effect. The effect is to see. Kit sat with a half-dozen jammers at a small table by the far end of the room. They had finished a tune and were laughing and talking in the time-honored way of the jam. Applause is considered bad form because it suggests a performance atmosphere. So after a tune, there's a period of idle chatter, sipping beers, laughing and shuffling chairs, until somebody begins another tune. There is an unspoken order to all this, but nobody really knows what it is. It's simply the way it's always been since the first caveman noticed his neighbor beating on a rock, wandered over and said, "Hey, I got a stick too." A young guitarist in a faded Boston Celtics jersey, neatly trimmed beard stubble, and Martin guitar baseball cap suddenly began to sing a traditional cowboy song, Colorado Trail. Nathan walked closer, putting a finger over his lips when a few people started to say hi. He wanted to listen. Weep all ye falling rains, wail winds wail, all along, along, along the Colorado Trail. You could almost hear the slow padding of horses and cattle in the easy gait of the song. It vaguely tells a story about a pretty girl named Laura, whom the cowboy loves and misses. But the song never explains who she is or what's happened to her. She's simply gone away. As a young man, that drove Nathan crazy. He tried to learn the song a few times, but without knowing what happened to Laura, or even what her relationship was to the cowboy, he didn't know how to approach it. Now, he thought those omissions were brilliant, because the song really isn't about Laura, or even the lovelorn cowboy. It's simply about being alone in a lonely place and wishing that you weren't. Nathan certainly knew what that felt like. Bobbing his head lightly to the beat, Nathan closed his eyes and wondered what it was about sad songs that appeal to us so much. Do we like being sad? Even the up-tempo songs at the jam were usually about train wrecks, dead mothers, ghastly murders, and ghostly lovers walking these hills in long black veils. Maybe it's like those actors who say they prefer playing villains because they're more interesting. Our dark feelings have more complex palettes. At least in art they do. But Nathan had learned that form usually follows function in traditional music. Perhaps our unhappy feelings are more in need of examining than our happy ones. Who needs to solve happiness? We need to understand the dark sides of life. That's where the dangers are. Why else would cowboys have sung all those sad love songs? It was the one time they could display their inner selves, explore their feelings, and share them with friends. And those deeper feelings need attention, even on a cattle drive. Leave them alone too long, unexamined and unexpressed, and they fester like an untreated wound. Maybe that's why Colorado Trail leads us away from the particulars about Laura and the cowboy. Laura becomes everybody's absent love, and the cowboy's loneliness becomes everybody's loneliness. And doesn't the simple act of sharing that in a song make us a little less lonely.